Hello everyone and welcome back to the 133rd episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello.
We've been off for a couple of weeks because a certain scumbag decided to move country.
Yeah, fuck you. UK's gone to shit. I got out of there.
I can't fucking fault you. Fucking dreadful place. Dreadful
We
place.
just have to hope that I don't get disconnected throughout the day though, because I'm basically just using my phone's hotspot for internet. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully
For,
it holds up.
for fucking 4 weeks for internet.
I'm just unlucky with the Christmas period, man. We had
Oh,
so much stuff to
definitely.
do by the time we got round to it. We were literally told, yeah, if you rang up literally yesterday, you would have got a slot. But yeah,
Yeah. Way it goes.
unfortunate.
Way it goes, brother. Anywho, we have an interesting week. It's unfortunately a miserable end to the year, but we do have one more episode which will be next week, and it will be our annual recap. It's going to be
I,
very
I
different.
don't I don't want to be part of that.
It's going to be very different from the last 2 years where we rank actual new released games, because to be honest with you, there
To
wasn't
sum it up
much.
easily, as I've mentioned in a previous episode, I literally have two games from this year, and I didn't even really enjoy them that much. And they're both very small indie games
Yeah,
with no replayability.
I don't know if you did your Steam wrap.
I don't think I did actually.
I
No,
did.
I might have.
I did mine, and apparently I played 52 new games. I
Where do you
don't.
even find it?
I don't. Oh, it's already gone. It was like 2 weeks ago, like
Well,
last week.
oh, I probably missed it then for the Steam one because I didn't have my PC set up.
Yeah, but basically, when all that was going on, I checked it. It said about 52 new games that I'd played this year. I don't recall more than 5
Yeah.
for the entire year. So yeah, it's a bit fucking mad,
You know
honestly,
what I
to look
bet it
into.
probably is the games they're finally releasing from early access after being here
Yeah,
for the last 3 years, and it's considering that as a new release, even though it's actually over 3 years old.
yeah, exactly.
Which I think something needs to be changed about that. Like a game shouldn't be considered a 2025 release when it first started in 2020.
Exactly. So, what I'm going to say on the matter is basically, we're not going to be doing it the exact same as every other year. We'll still be talking about some games, quite a lot of them, because that's what we do. But we'll be discussing basically the pros and cons of the year, things that have gone on, games we've been playing, things we've been enjoying, and what we've absolutely despised and hoped for next year. So, fingers
I'm
crossed,
gonna
it'll be pretty
cry.
interesting. Yeah, we probably will be in tears by the end of it, either laughing or physical tears.
I'm gonna cry a lot.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, we have a lot to talk about this week, so let's get started.
I suppose.
With something that we have technically discussed before, but we have a bit more information now. Xbox sales are down 70% year over year, with PlayStation 5 down 40%.
Yikes! It's only gonna get
Yeah,
worse.
it is. And we did discuss this prior, and I did say, like, don't get me wrong, we're coming to the end of the life cycle for the consoles, so obviously they're going to drop. But also at the same time, they're not doing as well in recent time. So yeah, it's a real hit and miss with it all. You can tell Xbox is not holding on anywhere near as much as PlayStation 5 is, which is surprising because you'd have thought the Xbox Series S would have probably got more sales, but I suppose some people are just, they like the power behind
Man, it's,
spending
it's
an extra
been
200 quid.
yeah, it's been typical that Sony is usually doing better than Xbox.
Oh, 100%. If you didn't
But I mean,
feel
that's
the,
still a massive hit for both of them.
oh, massively so. 40% is extremely high, and 70% is fucking ludicrous.
Yeah. Xbox at least has Microsoft behind them, but Sony, good luck.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
they've.
I don't particularly their tech and all is meh at best.
Yeah, that is the big thing. The only thing they really had going for them, other than their Blu ray and their consoles, was their audio equipment, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, Blu-ray is long since obsolete. I don't know audio terms. I don't remember the last time I really bought anything like Sony.
Yeah, as I said to you, I stick with JBL nowadays because they're specialized in audio equipment. They're a lot better for it. If you didn't feel the need to pick up a video game console in the past year, I haven't since
Since early PS3
Jesus.
days.
Yeah, pretty much. You were certainly not alone. A new report from Sakana says the gaming industry just had its worst November for console dollar sales since 2005, in a month when Black Friday is supposed to be a boon for such purchases. Yeah, well, they've had how many years? Like 5 years to fucking purchase one? Of course, they don't have a need right now. Physical software sales are the worst they've been since 1995.
It's the worst they've ever been, because that's like the starting days.
Yeah. On top of that, what this is clearly missing off, you've got talks of tariffs hitting constantly, recessions, fucking pretty much economic collapses, and then you've got shit releases on consoles. Like, add all that together and you've got a pretty good reason. And also near the end of the console cycle. So most people who want one have already bought one.
So just for some quick context, the first Xbox didn't even come out until 01. This one came out in 94. So them saying the worst sales since 95 is a bit over exaggerated, in my opinion.
Well, you got to think, before the Xbox and just around when PlayStation was starting. Before that, even you had the Super Nintendo, the Commodore 64, the Atari.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I don't know. When you're talking about PlayStation and Xbox now, I don't really consider those as the same category.
Yeah, but let's be brutally honest. This is an article written by Forbes. They're not really the best when it comes to making any sort of distinction.
I think you could use that statement for 99.99% of articles we read. I believe since we have started, what are we coming up to now? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Or 4? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think you've liked a total of 2 articles.
Do you know when you were saying that sentence, I was thinking about it. I was like, is it 2 or is it 3? I was trying to figure it out. And yeah, 2 sounds about right.
I would say we'll be generous and say 3, but then I think to myself, no, this is Roy. It's definitely 2.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. You're spot on. This is spread across the board, and none of the big 3 are immune. Oh yeah, Nintendo. Got you.
I get that they're like Nintendo as well, but it's titled Sony and Xbox. I'm confused.
Yeah, that's because they're trying to get clicks. So, Xbox Series X consoles are down a colossal 70% year over year. Sony's PS5 is down a hefty 40%. And Switch Plus, Switch 2 sales were down 10%, even as the Switch 2 was released this past June.
Yeah. How can you consider the Switch 2 in being down in sales when it's literally 6 months old?
Wait a minute. So it's down 10% already?
I don't know what figures they're getting for the Switch 2.
I'd imagine from like the first month or 2?
I don't know, man.
I've got no fucking clue. People are weird, man.
Why? It's been a few weeks. The thought of the misery that we have to endure with this, especially coming to the end of the year, apparently has just made me very angry. And now I'm just going to sit here and pick apart every tiny little piece of bollocks detail that my eyes come across.
You know what? I'm completely up for it. It'll give me a break for a week. I'll try to be the happier one. You can be the fucking morbid one for a change. Why? Well, there are many reasons. A simple one is prices high, consumer money low. Results of tariffs and market conditions, prices of video games, hardware have skyrocketed. Exactly what I said beforehand.
Yeah.
Forbes, like...
It's like, why are you going to pay for these ever-rising prices when you're still getting 30 FPS games as well?
Yeah.
Wait a few more months to get the Steam machine. You'll be grand.
Honestly, at this point, you may as well. Especially considering our prediction of March.
Let's be honest as well. What percentage of console gamers even have a TV that runs higher than 60 hertz?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's not really a thing that you think about when it comes to a TV.
You know, that's actually a fair question. The reason I'm pulling up the Steam survey results on this is because we did one in November. Now, if we go by Steam survey reports, considering how many people there are on Steam in total, and this is an overview to give us an understanding of how they are overall. If we did the overview for it, here we go, we can see the 65.59% is on Windows 11 64-bit, over about 41% have 16 gig. Which is the bare minimum nowadays. Even then, I'd argue you don't have enough.
Does nobody use 1440p or higher? What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I've been mentioning. Yeah, 52.83%. So if we're talking about what you were discussing, for example, by the way, this is the resolution I have, so it's basically 2 monitors. That's
Yeah,
all
but
that's
that's what I'm looking at. 52% is one monitor 1080p, and 50% is two monitors 1080p.
Yeah.
What?
So what my point is with this, primarily, if we're talking console, and considering comparison to Steam, we couldn't say exactly how many sales there are. I'm not sure if we have a figure, roughly. Let's have a look. PlayStation sales figures.
It does kind of blow me away to see that like so few people actually have anything better than a 1080p monitor.
Yeah.
Like they've probably got these fucking 240 hertz monitors and whatever they want, but so few actually go above 1080p.
Figures. 58 to 60 mil. Ah, right. So if we put that to 90 to 93 million and 84.2 million. Let's call it 91.
175 million if you're adding the two of them together.
175 million, okay. And Steam, on the other hand, sits at about... Oh god, what is it now? I always forget this, but... Log in. I find it interesting that it's the only way that you can find out how many people are on Steam. Oh. You've not got rid of it, have you? Come on, you can't get rid of that. That's like a legendary part of Steam. Boo! Fucking boo. I'm so... Oh, there we go. It's about...
Hey, almost 40 million just online.
So I'd say we
how
can
many there actually are.
I'd say we can argue probably... Actually, can we just, like, search it? Steam... Total figures. 132 million monthly active users.
I mean,
that was
trying to say the player counts are well into hundreds of millions, potentially exceeding 1 billion by 2019.
So, if we go by these figures on Steam, and Sony and Xbox in total have 175 million, and you got to take into account some of those are going to be like they've got to buy another one because XYZ reason, consoles damage, whatever. But we'll just go with the 175 million. Over half of those are going to be running a box standard like monitor or TV.
Oh, without a doubt. Well,
that's over half. So yeah, I'd definitely some probably even less.
What? There's 0.5% of people are playing 800 by 1200.
Hey, dude.
20%. That's okay. That's more than I thought.
And this is 4K, and that's 8K, I believe.
Either that or no, actually.
Just gotta like.
No, it could be triple monitor setup in 1440p.
But that's primary display. This is
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But yeah. So if this is a singular monitor that someone's running, we'll call that. It looks to be 8K. I think it is.
Okay, I've just actually realized people are playing 800 by 12, whatever it is.
Oh no, that's 4K.
So their monitor is taller than it is wider. So either they've got a retarded monitor or they've turned their monitor and decided to play games that way in their terrible resolution. I am very confused.
Yeah. So yeah, you can clearly tell just from these figures. It doesn't seem like many people are going to be running at the specs that they believe they should be. And that's on PC, where many of them do so. So on console, I'd imagine the split will be a bit harder and a bit rougher overall. So yeah, I don't think many people are going to be utilising it to its fullest potential. Which is ironic.
Not that it can utilise much, but yeah.
True. You really are in your bitch fit stage, aren't you?
I just don't care. The fact that consoles were releasing new games at 30 FPS just blows me away.
Speaking of, remember I told you earlier I finally decided to be a masochist and play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
Yeah.
It's a game constantly about moving around, and yet there is a constant, like, blur around the characters while they move.
That's just called lazy animation.
Yeah, it feels like motion blur on coke.
Oh, God.
My eyes fucking hurt. Out of the 4.1 hours I've put into it, I was sat around on my ass talking to my parents for 2 of the hours. So I put 2.1 hours in, and honest to God, regret every second of it.
Yikes.
So, lazy game development, lazy console development. While yes, I am looking forward to the new Steam machine, Steam frame, and all that jazz, I'm also very intrigued to see what Xbox and PlayStation are going to attempt over the next year or two. But somehow I can't see it. I think Xbox is probably going to step out of the console race, and I think PlayStation are just going to continue down the exclusive attempts, but they seem to be fucking up even that. So I'm really unsure at this point.
I mean, you've also got to consider that the Steam machine's going to enter the ring.
Through a technicality, yes, but it's more of a PC than it is a console, but it is classified at the same time. So yeah, I get it.
Yep. But console players are going to be able to use it the same way as they do with the other consoles. Maybe a little more to it. Well, definitely a little more to it because you got the whole Steam store and how different it is when you think about a console store.
You know what?
That little extra bit of like having to figure out the Steam store is going to be so worth it when you see just how much you get opened up to you.
Yeah, you know what? For the people who aren't planning to buy a Steam machine or anything at the moment, I'm going to give you a brief glimpse at the glory of the winter sale. And I'm just going to click through a few bits here. So just enjoy looking at this. And yeah, just enjoy every second. It's fine. We understand. We know it's a frightening scene to see.
The amount of smaller games that you can find as well for only a couple quid.
Let's go under £7.
Although I have to say now, Rory, it's actually a couple of euro for me now.
Fucking troglodyte. You share a currency with the French.
Yeah, it means I can easily infiltrate them now.
So
what are you gonna do? Walk in there? Walk in there with your British pounds?
No, that's why you have. Also, when you're about
it sounds like an extra step.
I'd walk in there with
a gun. It sounds like an extra step.
Everything's free.
Bless you, Shane.
So
there's tons, mate.
Yeah, this is under £7, by the way.
Oh, this scroll on.
Oh, I know it will. I can scroll forever and a day. This is my mouse, by the way. It just has a scroll wheel that just keeps scrolling forever if I just do that. But yeah, by the way, the amount of fucking like AAA titles that were under this, just insanity. And there are so many that you can. I mean, look at that. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, not the greatest Tomb Raider game. £3.35. Payday 2, 85 pence.
The Steam list of games will forever and always massively outweigh those couple of exclusives you get on console.
You know, actually, you've got me questioning something that I really need an answer to. So if we go with...
There's just games with 100% off, apparently. I don't...
Oh, yeah, there's tons, actually. So what I was curious about is, what's PlayStation's discount going? 67% is the maximum.
Yeah, we literally... Tons of stuff I saw when you were scrolling down, 80 and 90% off, and then a lot with 100% off.
Exactly. I'll be honest. A lot of these don't seem to be at a stage where I'd be willing to spend the cash. Yeah, not for me.
Considering we have first-hand witness just how terrible the releases of 2025 have went, I wouldn't be paying even their reduced prices.
Oh no, definitely not. But you know what? There's been some games this year that have gone straight on sale from release.
Yeah, which just shows how bad they went.
No, that's the thing. Some of them did amazing. That's why I was so shocked by it. A prime example would be the game that Metal Gear Solid 5 Snake Eater remake, 40% off already. Oh,
I just don't get like the games that are releasing on offer. Why are they not just that price? Why are you having to show that original price to like be part of increasing game prices continuously? Why not just release it at the discounted price you've got it on and leave it at that?
Well, we all know why. There's one game that I do have to commend regarding this, actually. It's a game you and me talked about briefly last week when we ran our test for this episode. Expedition 33. They won all them awards, they ran a thank you update, and then they discounted their game. A game that released on the 24th of April this year. I can't fault them. And they're full price, £42.
Yep. It just makes you wonder, like, why do these massive companies feel the need to be releasing titles at 70, 80, 90 pounds? It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, by the way, I am going to upset you today.
Upset me every fucking day.
I know I do, but this one's going to be very fun. So, Assassin's Creed Shadow. It had a crossover.
Oh, is this the Star Wars thing?
Nope, that was Destiny.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. Attack on what in the ever loving fuck?
I'm not joking. I'm going to show you the worst cutscene I've ever seen, and you are going to be as baffled as I am for this
I'm
supposedly
sorry. The
realistic
second
game.
one, is he just wearing a meat suit?
A Titan suit, but yeah, effectively.
What
It's supposed
the
in Attack on
fuck?
Titan, that's basically their muscles go to the surface, sort of thing. From what I remember, from what I saw, anyways. Anyways, I'm going to show you this scene. Watch
He
it.
just slapped a bunch of pork chops onto his armor.
So, do we have audio? We don't. I've muted it. Right, let me turn that down a bit because it'll be loud. It's not loud. Just how goofy this looks. That's Assassin's Creed in 2025.
What the fuck?
A time-limited event.
Ubisoft at its finest.
And I think they have an entire thing about it on here. Where are you? Oh, you don't. What'd you do with it? I know it's a fucking thing, though. I just showed you the fucking clip of it. I just... Yeah. It went from a fucking realistic game to this.
I mean,
Well,
we for the most part covered Assassin's Creed downfall over the years and how the games just slowly have become worse.
Yeah, it's so fucking mental. Anyways, Sony and Tencent quietly agree confidential settlement as Horizon Zero Dawn clone game, Light of Motorum, disappears from Steam and Epic Game Store. That's not what I intended to do.
Well,
to click it once, thank you. I know this one usually has photos to videos.
Yes.
So Tencent has seemingly removed the upcoming open world survival game. This removal...
I hadn't even released yet, so...
Oh no. This removal from storefronts coincides with sudden settlement of a legal battle between Tencent and Sony, with the latter party claiming back in July that Light of Motorum was a Slavish clone. I can't even disagree.
I mean, yeah, we covered this whenever it would have been first talked about and first showed up. And there were quite a few image comparisons, and it was pretty obvious that they had let's see, how can we put this nicely? Some inspiration? Cough cough. Of course it's the French trying to rip it off.
Inspiration.
Yeah. No, there was more than enough pictures showing the comparisons between the two games.
I just can't fucking believe they thought they'd get away with it.
I mean, it's something that we see every now and then. Someone tries to just blatantly copy another game.
Oh, definitely. So I'm just going to leave that there because that is just beyond fucked.
I've seen prices between $1,200 and $1,500 for DDR 64 gigs of DDR5.
That doesn't surprise me at this point. Samsung's done it more than 100%. And what pisses me off is so many of these companies, Nvidia have done it as well, by the way. They've announced that they're going to be giving less support to gamers, and it seems like it's going to be more moving forwards towards AI. Same with all these companies for RAM. So it does give a big worry for PCs. It really does.
It's not just PCs. If you think about it, though, every piece of technology that you use for gaming uses RAM.
Yeah.
So everything's going to go up. PCs are going to feel it the worst because we buy components straight up, and usually it is a hell of a lot cheaper to do it that way. But with the way RAM is, the RAM has actually went to the point that it's more expensive than 99% of GPUs. I'd say the only GPUs more expensive are the likes of the 5090 and the 4090.
Yeah. In the midst of the ongoing PC component crisis, tech giant Samsung has quickly doubled the price of DRAM that it manufactures for various brands, bringing the contract price closer to $20 on parts like DDR5 RAM. Ergo, PC parts shoppers will be stuck paying premiums on essential components, as Samsung has stated that the sudden price spike is due to the company having no DRAM left.
Do they honestly think people are going to pay these prices?
I've got no idea at this point. To be honest, though, I don't think they're bothered because the AI companies will. And that's the problem.
Yeah. So as usual, because we're all just little guys, we're just getting kicked inside and told to go fuck.
Pretty much. Because at the end of the day, the corporations are getting what they want. They don't give a fuck about the smaller people.
Because they have a couple just absolute rich fucks in it, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care, just buy it.
Yeah. As of writing, Samsung is the largest business conglomerate in South Korea, and it's one of the major manufacturers of consumer RAM. Alongside companies like SK Hynix and Micron, Samsung's major customers for DRAM include companies like G-Skill and Corsair. Along with its PC components and smartphone business, Samsung's known for manufacturing storage space for PCs, smartphones, and game consoles. This includes SD cards, including a recently launched microSD Express format. Currently, why are we talking about that? Oh, used by Switch 2. Makes sense. So, yeah, PC builders will bear the cost of Samsung's price hike.
We won't, though. We're just not going to buy it. It
No.
sucks, like, but what can you do about it?
Of course, I held off on upgrading for so long, and this happened. This is just insane, though. Samsung decision comes at the worst time for gamers, yeah, because most PC gamers upgrade around Christmas. And they've just basically gone,
here's some insight to show how bad it is. So typically the RAM that I've went with, just from my experience building PCs, has been Vengeance.
Yeah.
Right now, if I search for DDR5 64 gig 6000 megahertz from Vengeance, I'm seeing out of stock, €1,700, out of stock, €2,200. Then there's two 30 gig sticks that are disgustingly RGB for 780. Then there's the same again for 872. But these are high CL speeds as well. So we're low rather technically. And then there's another one for €2,141.
Brother.
And they're the first things I'm being shown.
Just look at my screen.
Yeah.
Between £600 and £700 with the occasional 292. The worst part is, if I'm going to upgrade, I need DDR5. I'll probably end up going for 32 gig, and even that is just way too much for me. I couldn't afford that.
To be honest, with what you do as well, you're going to quite soon, I would say, 164 gig.
Oh yeah. At the moment, I've only ever ran 32. You know, it's kind of upsetting. A year or two ago, I think I actually said it in an episode, I was half tempted to buy a metric fuck ton of DDR5 RAM because it was like 50 quid for 264 gig. And I was just going to stockpile it and wait. I'd have been a fucking millionaire. I really would have. But it is what it is.
It's just crazy to see, man.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
It has always been volatile. Do not get me wrong. It has. But this is fucking ludicrous.
DDR5 is a fairly solid upgrade, even if you're getting a slightly lower speed, considering it's mostly 6,000 and above.
Oh, yeah.
That is skyrocketing in price because they're buying the best of the best. So anything under 6,000. So mine is 5,200, for example. That's, I believe, I think it's either that or maybe one above is all mine can handle.
Yeah.
But I can't actually remember. It won't run speeds any higher than that.
Yeah.
And that's honestly doing me fine.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day,
so if you had 4 sticks of 16 gig of that as well, like what more would you need?
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of the way I'm looking at it. I'd probably get 2 sticks of 32. 2 sticks of 16 to start with, and then I'd probably get another 2 sticks of 16 down the line. But looking at this rate, I might have to push this old beast out a bit longer.
I think 5,600 is your next lowest under 6,000, and that's probably the best you'd be able to look for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even here, if I'm looking for 5,600, 2 sticks of 32, now, unfortunately it's RGB, but obviously you can probably find it, is only €236. But again, that's a CL speed of 40. So,
no, exactly.
Not that it really makes much of a difference, as we were talking about.
Yeah, not an extreme difference. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, reveals free story expansion and it's launching very soon. I don't know how I missed that. GSC Game World has announced brand new story update coming to Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, and players don't have to wait long to finally get their hands on free content. After reaching its first anniversary on November 20th, GSC Game World has managed to keep busy, not only celebrating the major milestone, but also releasing new content for players to enjoy. Alongside a year's worth of updates, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl finally launched on PlayStation, players bringing a third ecosystem of players into the world. Unfortunately, for Xbox fans, the arrival on PS5 coincided with the fact that Stalker 2 was also removed from Xbox Game Pass a few days before.
I honestly doubt that's even a problem on their end. That's just Game Pass went to shit.
Oh no, they'll have just removed it from Game Pass because it's a subscription. They don't keep everything on all the time. The announcement left more than a few fans frustrated, mainly due to the fact that some of the more important updates that launched after that date meant players wouldn't get to experience them. Some even called the removal a sort of early access period, with a year's worth of updates finally marking a full launch. Even though the game was indeed released as a finished product at the time. Well, released as a full product, yes, sure, I guess you could say that, but there was many fixes needed. And that's from someone who developed the game.
After a few months, it ran decently well.
Yeah.
We didn't have the game-breaking bugs where quests couldn't even work properly,
No, exactly.
So, there was still a lot of QOL stuff that got added in that was really nice to see, but for the most part, the game was definitely playable.
Definitely.
After at least 6 months, I'd say definitely.
Yeah. Either way, GSC Game World continues to expand the game with new content, with a new content update announced seemingly out of the blue. When was this article written? 6 days ago. Okay. Stalker Heart of Chernobyl story expansion release date. Something in the Burnt Forest. We'll see. New content on the way to Stalker 2, 8 robust quests, 7 locations to explore, 6 characters with their own stories, unique weapon and creation hub. Okay.
Maybe that'll give console players the ability to mod then.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll have a dedicated modding tool, which would be interesting. Stalker 2 fans wondering when a new content announcement would be made finally got their big wish. New update is set to launch on the 16th of December, so it already dropped. Okay, cool. Players will hear a distress signal after the update is applied, prompting them to head towards the Red Forest, where a research group have been reporting mysterious radio transmission has been causing other stalkers to suffer from headaches, nosebleeds, hallucinations. Players will be able to utilise the new GP37V2 rifle, pre-installed with a low mag scope and suppressor, while also supporting single and burst fire modes.
One thing that I am very upset that they didn't do, considering the way the game works, is not having the option for 2 scopes. So having a magnified scope on top of your weapon, and then considering the fact as well with the NVGs, you literally hold your gun at an angle, so that part is already there. Sight. And then just having a small little red dot on the side then for something like that.
Little canted sights. I fucking adore
very that upset. I'm very upset that they haven't done that. I hope they do in the future, and I'm surprised they didn't do it, especially when they did the whole MVG stuff.
The thing is, it would not be difficult to implement.
Yeah, really they've got most of it there already.
Yeah, it's literally just a case of implementing the scope.
Also, I don't know about you, but MVGs are fucking worthless in that game.
Yeah, I just run around in the dark, I'll be honest.
I don't know if they've changed it since, but they're not really needed. They make it harder to see, if anything.
Yeah. More games than we can fit into one direct. Xbox confirms first showcase of 2026 is bursting at the seams, and it's planned for January.
That's great and all that, but how many of them are actually going to be half decent? Are they
the question.
All early access?
That's the big question, isn't it? Honestly, I don't think I've got much confidence in it. I'll check it out, sure.
A Fable coming. I believe I remember you being a Fable fan.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about this fucking Fable for a long time now. The thing is, they do have a lot of possibilities. The game I'm hoping for is that Clockwork.
They're running out of titles. Gears of War E-Day.
Here we go. First and second party Xbox games currently in development. Elder Scrolls 6.
Bad news, Roy. Clockwork is still rumored release.
Yeah, I know. Project Mara, State of Decay 3, Fable, Clockwork Revolution, Marvel's Blade, Oh, it's a Kojima game.
Apparently Fable is scheduled release for 2026, 6 years later.
I know, right? Gears of War E-Day and Forza Horizon 6. You know what makes me really sad? The team that made Hi-Fi Rush is no longer there. So I doubt we're gonna get some random shadow drop of like another fucking really cool game that's come from nowhere. But I would love that.
Who knows? Maybe they've already went and made another new company, and they're just going to drop another random game and then disappear off the face of the earth for a couple of years again.
Possibly. I mean, we've seen it happen with the Expedition team, who were 30 staff from Ubisoft, who left and then outdid
Fuck Ubisoft.
Yeah. Blame the French. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 responds to Game Awards loss.
Okay.
When Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was released in February 2025, many heralded it as an early Game of the Year contender at the Game Awards. But in a twist of events, Warhorse Studios' sequel didn't manage to pick up a single win. Instead, as many expected out of the Game Awards, Expedition 33 swept up most of its nominations. I'm not surprised. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, phenomenal game, but I saw the fan base that formed around Expedition 33, so I kind of expected it. At the same time, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was fucking phenomenal. So
it is a shame.
God, sorry.
It is a shame when you're doing that well for most of the time, and then a random game drops.
It is.
And just overshadows the hell out of you.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunately just how it goes.
Yeah. At first, the official Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 social media page posted an image of the "This is fine" dog from the iconic meme. I once utilised this meme as a background for my webcam when I was in university during COVID. I just sat in the room with the fire around me, and that was me pretty much all day while I had to be there. It was quite fun. Where the House on Fire. As that wasn't enough, it followed up with another post showing 3 dialogue options. It's not my fault, blame the French, and say nothing. The image highlights the blame the French text, which is the company obviously throwing shade at Expedition 33. However, it does seem the company means this in a light-hearted sense, as opposed to when Black Myth Wukong's developer criticised the Game Awards for its loss despite the similar situations. The difference is, Expedition 33 had a massive fucking following, so it made sense. Astrobot should not have kicked Black Myth Wukong's ass. Just straight up. That there is no way in hell that should have happened.
I don't think it did. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can think whatever you want from that.
Yeah.
But we all know what I mean.
Oh yeah. I do like that though. If I ever come across this option, you know exactly which one I'm choosing.
Yep. I'm sure I'm gonna get that sent to me a lot of times over the next year.
Yep. Just cross out the word French and just put the Irish.
No, it'll still be French.
Yeah, true. Hell Let Loose Vietnam gameplay revealed in new trailer. I love the Hell Let Loose game. I think it's a bit too. I think it'd be a bit mental compared to what you're used to in a first-person game. It wouldn't be your cup of tea, but for me, they're fucking phenomenal. They're a bit tactical because you're in a squad and you're following sort of their orders as you go.
I might just get a little bored, if anything.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, when it comes to single-player games now, I don't get much of a challenge anymore. It's either I just immediately drop every enemy, or if I'm playing on a hard enough difficulty, I just miss one shot, then you just get one tap yourself, and it's just kind of yeah, it's not challenging. It's just boring.
This is multiplayer. It's PvP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
it's hard to get enjoyment out of PvP games anymore nowadays because of just people's mindset. Everyone just thinks that they've got to be the best and they're gonna win the lottery if they win this match or whatever, or they're gonna suddenly become massive streamers because they won a single fight in this game.
Fail completely playing this game. The only way to win this game is to play with your team. It's basically you've got to push back an entire other team, and the chances that you survive in a gunfight with 3 people when you're on your own is 0 to none, unless they're all missing every single shot. Now, I really enjoyed the base game of this, but I hated being part of teams. Well, I hated being part of squads because I like doing my own thing and not being commanded to go elsewhere. So what me and a friend of mine used to do is we used to play as a sniper and spotter. My friend would play spotter, I'd play the sniper. He had communication with the fucking commanders. I ignored them and I just did my own thing.
That's the other thing about games like this is when you have to play with randoms on your team. You then also have to deal yourself with the people who think that they're gonna go and kill everyone and become famous or win a lottery or something, and then they just immediately die and immediately leave, and it's like, cool. Now we're at a massive disadvantage compared to everyone else because we have some idiot who thinks they're the best player in the world.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I just multiplayer PvP games. There's for me personally, there's zero enjoyment in them unless you have a preset team of friends.
Even then, it could be a fucking pain in the ass.
Well, I presume you know the story with Alex. You know he's just fucked off.
I read little bits.
Yeah, he's just gone. He just vanished. He sold all his skins on Rust, and yeah, he's like, yeah.
I mean, fair play.
We don't really have any other competent teammates, so
yeah, that sounds fucking rough, putting it lightly. Well, I don't know whether this will make you happy or not, but we get to criticize GTA again and Rockstar.
I'm intrigued.
So Rockstar commented on the GTA 6 developer firings again. I'm not sure whether this was their wisest decision, but you know how it goes. Just for a quick recap, basically the IWGB, the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, rejected the claim that firings by Rockstar were due to them leaking information, sensitive information at that. On the other hand, they argued no, it was regarding a union in a union Discord, and they believe it was union busting. There's neither confirmation nor denial on the matter. Rockstar was very quiet on the matter. IWGB seemed in the right. Even people that work for Rockstar still were signing letters against the firings. So it was all kind of up in the air and we were waiting for anything further. So, apparently, the devs were allegedly fired for leaking game features from upcoming and unannounced titles. Rockstar has now suggested that firings had nothing to do with GTA 6 developers discussing its recent partial ban on Slack emoji use, while also rejecting allegations of union-busting activities. Rockstar Games took action against a small group of individuals across the UK and internationally who distributed and discussed confidential information, including specific game features from upcoming and unannounced titles, in a public forum in breach of company policy and their legal obligation. A company representative told IGN claims that these dismissals were linked to union membership or activities is entirely false and misleading. If this is true, they have a valid reason for dismissal. Just straight up.
They just kind of 180 their reasoning though. Because was it
the
not
problem.
something to do with GTA 6 initially, and now they've completely turned around and said no, actually, it's nothing to do with GTA 6.
Yeah.
So it's like they can't get their story straight between fucking higher ups. One has said one thing and now another saying another thing.
No, exactly. It's a bit fucking mental, really, as things go. Rockstar says Union Discord server had a journalist and rival developer as members.
Can they prove that?
I'd imagine they should be able to.
Rockstar if it's a union Discord server as well for Rockstar developers, I doubt they're going to mix developers from other companies. It doesn't really make sense.
Unions are company specific. They are kind of good. That's why you don't discuss features you're working on. You discuss problems within the company only. That's where there can be a problem, and that's where they can dismiss properly. But it's not just these people who have gotten involved. I don't know if you heard about this, but the UK's Prime Minister also commented on it. Which he's done because he's a pillock who doesn't know what the country wants, but hey ho, we'll get into that at some point in existence. Typically in private, we rant about this moron.
What the hell does this guy have to say?
It was deeply concerning, and that ministers would look into the matter. Notice how he said ministers and not himself. Or his staff. I hate him so much. But yeah, basically what it's come down to is they believe that secrets were revealed within this Discord to developers from other companies and a apparent journalist. They've already had protests outside, as we know, and there has been 220 employees that have signed a joint letter. And pretty much they just keep coming up with different denials and things like that. Their stock did plummet by 10%, but that's not really due to that. It was due to the GTA 6 launch pushback.
I mean, GTA 6 is going to get delayed 17 times, man, over the next 10 years. What the fuck do the people want?
Yeah, it's
Be
all very
honestly
much
surprised.
there. No, not in the slightest, to be honest with you. And I didn't expect much more from them. It's kind of anticipated at this point. It really is. And honest to God, I don't expect any better. I know Rockstar are a multi-million-dollar company. I do not anticipate them to act any better than they are acting. On top of that, I don't expect unions to lie, so I'd hope they're not, but it always happens. Same with politics, same with everything else in the world. So I don't know who to trust. All I can say is Rockstar looked like the bad people. They still have that air around them.
Yeah, they didn't do themselves any favors.
No, but it's a wait and see game, as it was back then. Rockstar still looks like the guilty party at the moment, but it could easily swap at any moment. What we need to see is proof. Clear your name, problem solved. It's pretty much that easy. I wonder though, if they found out that XYZ was spoke about in this public Discord, well, Union Discord, how do they know unless someone screenshotted? Or
Yeah. Which,
yeah,
again, then is a breach of privacy.
correct, but at the same time, well, not really actually.
It's literally it's both ways, but the way the union works is it's meant to like not involve the company unless something is taken to the company.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, it's meant to it's your name essentially is kept hidden from the company if the issue was to be discussed until necessary,
yeah,
which is usually if it would get taken a step further. But realistically, Rockstar shouldn't have any information of
true.
anything that happens in that Discord. So as you said, someone has had to have reported something. But then again, we also both know how easy it is to manipulate Discord messages.
Yeah, we've discussed that briefly. But the other thing I must admit, I find that this union is kind of acting, the way I'm going to put it is extremely unprofessional. Why would you have a Discord server for union matters? I get it if you want to, like, have a bit of time with the people within your union, like spend a bit of time outside of that work bit, that's fine. But if you're using that for official uses, like complaints and issues, no. You should have a union rep dedicated for that company, and they handle any issues and they take that to the management of the union, who will then take it to Rockstar. It should not be a case of you can put this stuff into a Discord that has X amount of people from Rockstar, X amount of people from Ubisoft, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. I get that a union is meant for like it's not going to be company specific. What I was trying to say is it doesn't make sense that you could have people from another company see the issues that
Yeah,
people from this company are complaining about. That is what I was like trying to say
yeah,
earlier. At the
exactly.
very least, you would think it would be like role specific, and that you don't choose the role, you talk to someone, and then you get given the role, and you can only see the channel
Yeah,
for the company you're with. But even at that, we've seen even Discord has had privacy breaches,
yeah.
which means someone could get that information, you know?
At the end of the day, Discord is not meant for this sort of thing. Discord is
No.
meant for
I
socializing with
get the
people.
convenience behind it because, let's be honest, anyone involved in anything even remotely to do with gaming probably has Discord. It's pretty much the main go to,
Yeah,
which is why there was massive worry when we heard about, the hand of power being exchanged.
yep,
But luckily, nothing bad has come of it yet.
yet. But
But it's still not really the place for professional matters.
yeah, it's got the uses,
Things
sure.
that are
But
professional but also casual, sure,
yeah,
but that level of professional should not be in a Discord server. Should not be
no.
even related to Discord.
Should be in a Teams, if I'm brutally honest. Because that's for the professional format. Even then, if you wanted to use Discord, sure, use it in a call. Do not write
Yeah,
shit out in chat. It's
yeah.
a terrible idea.
Don't have stuff just laying around that anyone can gain access to.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm very up in the air at the moment on who's completely in the wrong. It could be a case of both sides, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at first they were just saying that it was to do with GTA 6 because that's really all they had to go off of, and then someone, maybe whoever leaked shit has fucking went back to him and been like, here you go, here's more specific stuff they found, and now they're like, oh, okay. Or maybe they're just making it up as they go along.
Yeah,
Like,
it could go either way.
until the case progresses further, maybe the Prime Minister and his bodies will find out some information and reveal it to light, and yeah, sure.
Mate, no one can find out that he's a cunt, never mind anything else. Anyways, that's all I've got, thankfully, for this week. But the Rockstar thing, I think, is something we're going to have to keep an eye on through the new year.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I want to take through to the new year. The rest of it, I'd quite like to leave in this year.
We can put it in a big pile and light it on fire.
Yeah, you know what? That might be a part of next week.
Oh,
Just
no.
gather all the bad issues.
This is a brand new house. I'm not lighting a fire.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll do the fire lighting. I'll
Oh,
call
no,
you
I'm
on
gonna
my
miss
phone halfway through and just fucking video record it in the middle of a field. But yeah, we have a few plans for next week now. So we will be.
Do we?
Well, they're very vague.
From the
but I can
signs
make
of it, we're
them
just gonna kind of wing it and just kind of go over what we saw this
Brother.
year that we had mild interest in.
Brother, I don't think you understand. I make
Every
vague
episode's
outlines.
winging it.
Yeah, I make vague outlines. Everything else is winged. That there has not been a single moment of any episode of the 133 episodes we have recorded that I have scripted, planned, or like figured out what I wanted to do from the beginning. Everything is winging, and I am more than happy with that. Because at the end of the day, if it's winged, you know it's genuine in that moment. That's the way I think about it. But anyways, that's everything I've got for this week. Is there anything you'd like to add, brother?
I'm just surprised that I've not had any technical difficulties.
Same. You
But
had
I'll
one
take
glitch.
it. I had the odd bit where like I had to piece together what you said, but luckily it was usually when you were reading something, so I was able to catch up.
Oh,
So it's not been too bad.
No, I'll take that as a win, honestly.
Absolutely.
So, in that case then, sir, we will call this episode here.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. Well, thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and join the Discord that is in the description. If you want to leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to hear us discuss next week, or even
Rory,
what you hate about this year. Go on.
there's one thing that we have never mentioned properly, and we've missed out on it this whole time.
Go on.
To all those that do listen and watch the video on YouTube, or the podcast on whatever that website's called, or however you listen to this, if you do, first thank you. You're weird just like us, clearly. But we've missed out on the main thing, Roy. We stream this every Sunday. Usually around 12 or 1 o'clock is when we start, and it goes on for about an hour and a half. I feel like it's been a very long time since we've mentioned this.
It actually is, yeah.
Very, very long time. And we've missed out because we've had a few episodes that have done very well.
Yeah.
And to those who do listen, we thank you greatly because we do enjoy doing this every week.
Oh, we do. That's why we continue. Even we know we don't get many views. Sure, that's fine. But for us, it's
we do get that interaction, especially on TikTok. We get quite a lot of interaction. Well. People make some comments. And Roy's always responding, and I usually just go through and read over them and sometimes have a chuckle because most of the time it is just something funny, you know. It's something that's went ridiculous. Someone said something that's like, that's a good point, but also very funny.
Yeah, and then there's me that has to argue back with some of the people that just...
There are a couple. There's always someone that'll disagree with something. That's just always going to be a thing.
Yeah,
but for the most part, the interactions are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen me with a few people. I'm fine with a disagreement. I'm fine with a discussion. But it's when you start insulting for the sake of, because at the end of the day, we can do better than they can at insulting. And I don't think they want it to come to that.
The most time I've seen the arguments breaking out is when someone just disagrees with something just for the sake of disagreeing. They don't care if their point is valid or correct. They just want to disagree.
Yeah,
but
9 times out of 10.
What can you do about that?
9 times out of 10, honestly, they shut up the moment you ask them for their opinion in full. So, that's fine.
But the main point is, every Sunday, or at least we try to, the last few weeks have been rough with me moving. I've not got proper internet at the minute, so it is what it is. But for the most part, we try to do every Sunday, starting between 12 and 1. Anyone and everyone is welcome to drop by. And if you have a topic that you don't see in Rory's little tabs, you can always drop it in. We can take a quick look and see if there's anything interesting going on.
100%. I'm more than happy to discuss anything that people bring up. If you've got questions, even, we're more than happy to like have a think about it.
Do keep it narrowed down to the gaming section, though.
Yeah, well, we can do tech as well, but just
tech as well. Yeah, tech's fair.
The moment you go to politics, I'll probably start screaming and ranting. And
no, Rory, bad Rory.
You'll hear some very devilish words.
But I think that's everything, though, Roy.
It is, yeah. So yeah, I'm more than happy with that. Perfect. Well, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye for now, guys. See you next week for a terrible recap of the year.